So you guys made a movie that has so many elements to it. It's part action, it's part thriller, and it's also a fun heist movie. And not only fun to watch, but when you're sitting there, you're kind of thinking about like who to trust, like what's going on. It's like a con within a con. So can you talk about that?
Yeah, that's life. You know, you kind of gotta always see, recognize who the shady characters are, and sometimes that happens a little bit too late. You know, and I feel like our movie doesn't try to be your stereotypical movie. We try to avoid the cliches, and we try to stay very real. And a lot of that has to do with not being able to tell who's the good guy and who's the bad.
Yeah, staying, we want audiences to expect the unexpected. We want people we want to keep them guessing until the very end. And a lot of that is done through flipping the paradigm of the typical heist movie on its head a little bit, where the good guys are not all good and the bad guys are not all bad.
It was amazing, like this from the beginning. It's my movie, right, from the beginning, and I'm so thankful to have Gerard come along for the ride. And actually, Gerard has had the script for 6 years, produced the film, and along with Tucker Tooley and Mark Canton, and he also has a relationship with Mark Canton. He produced 300, and I have a relationship with Mark. I produced Power with him, and we're in a cool circle of people that get things done. So Tucker Tooley, who's a producer on this actual project, is also my production partner on Vanguard. It's a series they'll see come through the Stars Network with Christian Gudigas, who's the writer-director debut film. Then at Thieves, you'll see him direct Vanguard next.
But that's why we all ended up involved with this, because it was a phenomenal script that really showed you this underworld from LA, where you really get into, you're on the side of the cops, but you're also on the side of the bad guys, because you understand where they're both coming from. They both have a lot of blemishes, but they also both have these beautiful codes about them, and there's a real bond between them. And in that, you also have this fascinating, intricate heist that's unfolding in front of you. And you're also watching these two tribes become obsessed with each other, and essentially building towards this showdown, this war, They're all like warriors that have stepped up onto this battlefield, and it's like, they gotta bring it. They've gotta both bring their best game, and that's really exciting to watch.
Yeah, but that ending really got me though. I did not see that coming.
Widow Christian.
I don't know what you're talking about.
No spoilers. So there's a lot of fun scenes there. So what are your favorite scenes from each other's characters?
Oh man, how could you not love seeing him pull the saw, dude? When we first saw the trailer, that was the biggest thing. I was like, yeah, you look cool with that thing on the wrist. So that's I would say that's my favorite merriment scene, is not watching the aftermath, but watching you get down with the big gun, the saw.
My favorite part of Donnie I can't talk to you about, but my second favorite part of Donnie is the driving. I mean, anybody who can drive a car like that is definitely a good man in my book.
It's my Nicolas Cage moment.
Oh, I like put your seatbelt on. You better put your seatbelt on.
Put your seatbelt on.
My favorite scene from Gerard's character is when he sends the text to his wife. It's not a nice scene. But he made a mistake and sends a text to his wife, and then it gets crazy. But the cool part is the element of him. He's never shown aggression in front of his babies, in front of his daughters. So it's like he's vulnerable to her aggression, to her being upset at a point when So it's interesting to see him that way.
And my favorite scene of 50s, which is also my favorite scene in the movie, and it's also one of my favorite things about the movie, it's the prom scene where he pulls in the kid who's about to take his daughter, and it's like, that's what I love. This movie reminds you, these guys have other lives. Most movies like this will say, okay, he's just a bad guy, he's just a cop, but it's like, he's also a father who has 5 children and has the rigorous responsibility of trying to be a father and yet live this life of crime that he does. And I think that's a really kind of fascinating insight that can be very vulnerable and emotional, and also super funny.
Right.
The Federal Reserve scene, like that whole moment with the heist happening,
Yeah.
that gave me so much anxiety. I was so stressed out.
Ooh.
I needed to, I think, walk out and come back in. See
Yeah,
what
yeah.
happened. I'm wondering, like, watching it, do you still feel anxious, or do you just like, well, I know what happens?
Oh man, those
Watching it.
vents.
How do you feel watching it, Shay?
The vents are the worst part.
Shay hasn't seen our movie yet.
Oh man, I can't. No, because
Haven't seen it?
I don't want to know the twist.
He doesn't want to spoil
I don't want
it
to
for
spoil it
himself.
for myself. Bro. No, I like to do the premiere. I don't like the screenings. I like to wait for the premiere. We got a premiere coming up, but I can tell you, the dailies, that scene, me and the vents. I'm not a fan of the air vents.
That looked really uncomfortable.
Because the camera's this close, and you know you're just inching through. There's no way to like turn around and get comfortable, and they're telling you to no, Shay, you gotta crawl slower. So yeah, it was sucked.
Yeah, it's a really uncomfortable scene. I think mostly because the environment that it's in is so pristine and it's quiet. You know, that's the thing is the scene is everybody's whispering. You know, because you can't blow your cover, and so there's a lot of tension built through that.
And who was most competitive during the boot camp?
Jerry was
Gerard,
probably
Butler.
the most aware of the competition.
He's definitely he clicks into that Leonidas, that 300 version of him every now and then, and starts kicking crew members in the chest. It's real.
He never did that.
Never did that, but
No lawsuits, please.
They definitely try to keep us separated, regulators versus outlaws, and I feel divided until we do the DVD commentary.
Then it'll be over. Then you just squash it.
Then it's cool.
Once DVD's done,
I
we're
better
all
not
friends
see-
again.
I better not see Jerry. I swear.